everyone, my name is Clare. I really enjoy doing sport like netball. As much as I love sport, I like to check in on how the superstars are playing. And the best way to do it is becoming a sports reporter. Right now, I'm becoming a reporter at the Courier Mail. Let's get the scoop on what it's all about. Showing me around from the Courier Mail is Liliana. Obviously, there's more than just the reporter when it comes to putting the paper together. I intend to dive deep and bring you quotes from those in the know.
Claire, is it?
Yeah, Lachlan.
Yeah, glad to meet you. How are you going?
Good, thank you. So, Lachlan, what is your job as an editor?
Well, my job basically is to put all the stuff that goes in the paper. I decide what goes in the paper and also online as well. We have a look at what goes online. So we cover all the stories that are happening around Queensland, around Brisbane, and my job is to sort of oversee where we put things and what prominence we give to stories.
Oh, cool. So how do you decide which articles go into a newspaper?
That's a good question. You don't want all stories about crime, for instance, so you want a mix of stories, and you want stories that people want to read. You want interesting stories and interesting pictures. So you want stories about kids, families, you want stories about a bit of crime, a bit of politics, even though you might think that's boring, but a lot of people like to know about those sorts of things.
Definitely.
And you want opinion, which is people talking about different ideas. So you want a mix of stories, especially sport too. You want a lot of sport.
So does your job ever get stressful? Like, do you ever have to rush quickly?
I rush every day. I rush. Every day is stressful. So there's a lot of parts, a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. So how long have you
Do I look stressed?
No, not right now. Do you get to edit all categories, or do you have you do sport or business or crime? Which bit?
So what happens is we have a big meeting at the start of the day and then halfway through the day when all those people that are in charge of those sections, whether it's sport or business, come and tell me what sort of stories they have, and I go, well, I like that story. Can we do more on that story? Do we have a picture for that story? And then they go back and put it in the paper.
And now some hard-hitting questions with someone who knows all about hard-hitting questions. So Jim, you're a sport journalist here in the Courier Mail. So how did you, why did you want to become a journalist?
Well, that's an interesting story because my father was a sports journalist for about 40 years. And when you're associated, I guess you see it in the house all the time. Even if you don't mean to, you want to find out how you might go. And I've really loved being a sports journalist myself for nearly 40 years.
So how do you get new articles? How do you have the ideas of the new articles?
That's one of the fun parts of journalism. You arrive in the morning and it's a complete blank sheet of paper. For a newspaper, or in the case of online, it's completely blank.
Yeah.
So you do have to think of ideas.
Yeah.
So you have to think about, say, a swimmer. Say you're talking about Cate Campbell, the swimmer. What do you ask Cate that's new and different? And you have to ask her, inquire. It's not all about the swimming in the pool. It might be what's going on in her life outside the pool.
Last year I met Cate Campbell at a shop in Carindale. I ran into her. I was like, oh wow. So how do you know if the public will enjoy to read your article?
That's so good. You got some good questions. I guess at the Courier Mail we all know people love the Brisbane Broncos.
Yes.
So
Broncos
we write a lot of Brisbane Broncos stories because people love the Broncos. They're part of the fabric of Brisbane.
Yeah.
They love State of Origin. That's the fabric of Queensland.
Yeah.
So we write a lot about that.
Okay, Jim, let's act like we are interviewing Cate Campbell. So what questions would you ask her?
Well, I really am fascinated to know what she thinks when she's standing on the blocks in a big race, when she's all by herself and the whole world's watching her. What goes through her mind? Does she sing a song when she's going down that first lap, or how does she get just in her own space where she can swim the fastest she possibly can?
Because being a swimmer is very stressful, so you've got to, if it's in a relay, you've got to quickly go down so your next person can jump. So it can be a little stressful. So I would want to know, how does she cope with that anxiety before the race? Because in the Olympic Games, you'll be really scared about to go out, definitely. While I was working on some interview questions with Jim, Cate Campbell was actually on her way for an interview with me.
Oh, so this one was given to you by her?
Yeah, Laura's really helpful. Tells us lots of good things.
Oh, that sounds
Do you mind if I interrupt here?
Oh my gosh, really?
Hello, Claire. How are you?
Hello.
Good to see you again.
Oh my gosh, hello.
I hear you've been grilling a couple of people.
Yes.
Has she been kind to you?
Yeah, I've got
What's-
beads of sweat on my.
What's it like?
Oh my gosh, I was like really, no, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really shocked. Because I was just telling her I met you before in the shop with my nana.
Yeah,
Lisa.
I think that we were buying jewellery or something.
Yeah, you were buying jewellery and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, can't put an autograph. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. So how many times have you won a gold Olympic medal?
So I have 5 Olympic medals in total. So I have 2 gold, 2 bronze and a silver. Yeah,
Wow.
so they're quite special. They kind of live in the bottom drawer because what else do you do with them? Like, it's kind of like, oh, this is nice. Oh, let me just put that in the drawer
Yeah.
and leave it there.
Is it stressful before you go in the pool in the Olympics? Like lots of anxiety?
Yeah, it is really stressful and it's really nerve-wracking and you kind of just have to like try and take a few deep breaths. It almost gets to the point where you're like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I'm so nervous and I'm so stressed. Why would you do this to yourself? Why does anyone do this to themselves?
Yeah.
But you have to remind yourself, like, why do you train? You train to race. And if you're not racing and enjoying it, then why are you doing all the training? Because let me tell you, training can be quite boring.
Yeah. Did your sister start because of you?
It was actually the other way round. So I'm actually a very lazy person. I don't know about you, but and you do not seem like a lazy person to me. So you wouldn't understand this. But when we first started swimming, I'd do like a little turn at the flags because it was just too far to swim that extra 5 meters in and 5 meters out. Or I'd let people lap me. So that I wouldn't have to swim 50 meters. Anyway, Bronte was like super dedicated and on it all the time. And she was the one who would be lapping me and then be like, Cate, you've got 50 meters to go. And I was like, oh, fine, I'll do it. And then we went to our first swimming carnival and I won a little bronze medal for my 25 meters backstroke. And I thought, oh, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Bronte won 4 gold medals and an age championship trophy. Now, do you think that she was like humble or quiet about it?
No.
No, correct.
No, I have sisters that do that.
Correct. She used to wear the medals around her neck to the point where and then she'd walk so they would clink so you could hear her coming down the passage. And then she'd put her trophy next to her water at the dinner table. Yeah, she just rubbed it in my face every chance she got. So anyway, I got very angry. And I stole her medals and her trophy and I hid them under my bed. And Mum found them and she sat me down and she said, Cate, Bronte worked really hard for those medals. And if you want what Bronte has, you're going to have to work hard because I've watched you, Cate, and you don't work hard. And I was like, oh man, do I have to?
Yeah.
But the gold medals were a lot better than the little bronze medals. So I was like, fine, I'll work hard. And it's kind of backfired on Bronte a little bit because now we race against each other and I beat her most of the time.
But when they call your name and you turn around that corner and you go onto that's really stressful. Everyone's looking at you, people all around the world are looking at you.
Yeah.
I would be so scared. I'd be like, oh gosh, I don't want to do this anymore. I'd turn around run off. I would not like that. I can't even talk to camera. I can't even go out.
You can't even talk to she's a natural. Look at this. I can't even talk to camera.
I can talk to camera, but you get really nervous.
You do get really nervous.
And then even you're so used to interviews. Do you do lots of interviews a lot?
None of this caliber. You're right up the top. You're very good.
Oh gosh. Wow, really?
Yeah. All right, well, I have a little something for you because you have been an awesome interviewer. You haven't asked me any of the horrible questions that I do sometimes get asked. So this is one of my caps, my Olympic caps. And I thought that you might like it.
When did you wear this?
So I wore it at the Olympics.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for talking to me today. You surprised me a lot. I was not expecting that. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
How will my journalist story end? I guess you have to read all about it. I'm Claire and I hope you enjoyed watching.